Morning everyone, my name is Angel Quaresma, the first reporter of Group 15, Unit 4 Strategies in Assessing Physical Education in Health in Elementary Grades. Lesson 1, Visiting the Essential on Assessment. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to differentiate formative from summative assessment, examine the basic ideas of assessment, assessment as learning, assessment of learning, assessment for learning. Clarify the importance of assessment in instructional delivery and evaluate the importance of effective assessment in teaching physical education in health in elementary grades. Introduction. Our students do not learn what we teach. It is this simple and profound reality that means that assessment is perhaps the central process in effective instruction by Daylan William, 2013. Ang pagkakaintindi ko dito, hindi lahat ng itinuturo natin sa mga bata ay nauunawaan nila. Kaya as a teacher, mas okay na mag-isip tayo ng way upang mas maintindihan nila ito. Halimbawa kapag nagtuturo tayo ng physical education, for example, volleyball yung topic natin, hindi lamang dapat tayo salita ng salita. Dapat kapag volleyball yung topic natin, dapat magdala tayo ng mismong bola na kung saan turo natin yung kung paano yung step by step process na kung saan mas madali nilang maunawaan kung paano laruin yung volleyball. Assessment, meaning and essential. In education, the term assessment refers to a variety of method or tools that teachers, instructional planners, and designers use to measure and document the learning progress and educational challenges of pupils. So according to Black and William 1998, define assessment broadly to include all activities that teachers and pupils undertake to get information that can be used diagnostically to alter teaching and learning. This particularly definition assumes that responsibilities rest on both the teacher and pupils as they both navigate the dynamics of teaching and learning. Ang assessment ay napakahalaga sa pagiging epektibo sa ating pagtuturo, gayon na din sa ating pagkatuto sa physical education. It's provide information in students, strength, weaknesses, and educational requirements which inform future planning and teaching. Assessment. Formative assessment, according to Boston 2002, defines formative assessment as the diagnostic use of assessment to provide feedback to the teacher and pupils over the course of instruction. It allows pupils to communicate what they know and where they are right now. The goal of formative is to monitor students' learning to provide ongoing feedback that can be used by instruction to improve their learning and by students to improve their learning. Assessment help students identify their strengths and weaknesses and target areas that needs to work. Formative assessment help also faculty recognize where students are struggling and address problem immediately. So example of formative assessment in education, physical education include physical activities questionnaire, multiple choice survey, and fitness skill check-in. Tayo sa summative assessment. Summative assessment as posited by Boston 2002 generally take place after a period of instruction and requires making a judgment about the learning that occurred. This is given periodically to determine at a particular point in time what pupils know, and do not know. So, summative assessment are useful for making inference about sa mga achievement ng mga students over time and their readiness for the next level of physical education. Summative assessment and physical education include fitness tests, skill performance assessment, written assessment, or team sport participation. And the purpose of summative assessment are to ensure accountability, to ensure quality control process, and to identify needs and allocate resources. Ngayon, dumako naman tayo sa three basic ideas of assessment. So, narito yung assessment as learning, assessment of learning, and assessment for learning. So, the first one is assessment as learning. Assessment as learning occurs when students are their own assessor. Students monitor their own learning, ask questions that related on physical education or any subject, and use strategies to decide kung ano yung alam nila and kung ano pa yung magagawa nila and kung paano nila magagamit yung assessment for new learning. Example ng assessment learning ay reflection and journals. Second is assessment of learning. Assessment of learning assess teachers in using evidence of students' learning to assess achievements against outcome and standard. Sometimes referred to as summative assessment. It usually occur at defined key points during a teaching work at the end of a unit, term of or semester, and may be used to rank or grade of students. So example of assessment of learning is periodical tests and achievement tests. And last, assessment for learning. Assessment for learning involves teachers using evidence about students' knowledge, understanding, and skills to inform their teaching. Sometimes referred to as formative assessment that usually occurs throughout the teaching and learning process to clarify students' learning and understanding.